Admit.
Okay, I'm letting people in.
Mary Lou. All right, there's Kenneth and Mary Lou. They're still muted.
Ooh.
There we go. There's Kenneth. Here comes a bunch more.
Ryan, you want to go ahead and let people in as just kind of add them as they join?
I am.
All right.
Here we go. All right. So they can all unmute themselves. We are recording. All right, welcome everybody. Thanks for joining us. A little reminder of who we are. All of you had come by at Disrupt. We're very grateful to have met you there, and we tested all of you with that cool little new Prysm device that'll measure your carotenoid antioxidant levels and let you know whether your nutrition, your diet, and your supplements are working and to what degree, and then allow you to supplement with some things guaranteed to improve your score and get you where you want to be. On top of that, got a great system with automations and workflows to be able to integrate this into your practice without taking on a huge workload. So I'd like to introduce everybody to somebody that I don't really need to introduce them to. That's Josh Isaac from the Health Experts Alliance, just for him to share his experience with what he's had a chance to take part in with both the Prysm, Nu Skin, and the training that we had out in the corporate office. So Josh, thanks very much for allowing us to put all this together, for inviting us to your event. It was awesome, and we were just overwhelmed with the amount of interest and feedback that we got, and people that were excited to start working with us. So I'll let you kind of say a couple of words about your experience and when you were out in January with me at the corporate office as well.
For sure, yeah. I see. Thanks, Stephen, for the intro, and see a lot of familiar faces here. Good to see you, Trin. Sam, I see you there. I don't see your video, but good to see you. Kenneth, awesome guys. It feels like we're having a little Disrupt reunion, so I love it. You guys have a good time at Disrupt? So yes. Good, right? Yes. Love it. Well, yeah, no, I'm super stoked. I'm really glad that Dr. Steve and Stephen were able to come out, and we were able to essentially launch Prysm with you guys at Disrupt. It's super exciting, and I feel like you guys were like the cool kids there. It was like you couldn't even get a chance to talk to you guys. There's so many people at the booth, so it was awesome. But yeah, I wanted to share just a little bit of my experience with it and just kind of what I've seen and why I chose, to really partner with Dr. Steve and Ryan and Stephen. First off, I was at the headquarters, which I believe there's going to be an opportunity to go to Utah. I was out there with Dr. Steve and Ryan and Stephen. It's just incredible what they've built. I mean, there was just so much training out there. I think that's a really important piece of everything here. They invest so much in just you guys as practitioners and training you guys on the protocols and the tech and the supplements, and also just all the science and research behind them. It was really incredible to see the labs. The lab was actually was like a huge piece of just seeing like how everything was created and R&D'd out there. So that was just really, really incredible to be out there. And I'd encourage any of you guys that are interested here to go and see everything in person. But the big thing I wanted to share and why I, just immediately knew this was going to be an awesome thing to bring to everyone here is at HEA, if I could sum up our mission and what we're looking to do is impact 1 billion lives and heal them naturally. And really we're fighting a big behemoth in the pharmaceutical industry, and against that, and everyone here is contributing together to do that. But when we look at two really core components of what how we can do that together well, I break it down into two categories. Number one, we need to get patients better, right? We need to have impact for our patients, and we need products products and services that work, right? And that's what we're all here for. And number two, we need good businesses, right? Because we need to have a business model that works so we can support our businesses, and we can support actually bringing patients in and growing, or we're not going to be able to compete with pharma. So the great thing about this that I saw is that this is something that your patients can have with them. So it increases the ability for them to keep on their supplement protocols, keep interacting with you and not falling off. And also there's a business model behind it. So it really hits these two key things that I saw, which it's just why I'm really excited for them to for you guys to join the tribe here with Prysm and Nu Skin. So with that, I'll give it to you, Dr. Steve and Steven, but I'm super stoked you guys are all here, and look forward to creating some great great businesses and great patient outcomes with what they're doing here. So I'll leave it to pass it to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Josh. So I'll just mention a little bit about my background and how I came across this, because it was a curveball. I like a lot of you, have a pain to purpose story. I was hit by a car going the wrong way on the interstate in 2002. Came back from that, but spent years trying to figure out why I still had some injuries and ailments that Western medicine didn't address. I was introduced to this biohacking space in 2014, and I'm a huge connector. So I just connected it. I wanted to know, hey, when I went to my first exhibitor hall at a Dave Asprey event, hey, what is all this stuff? How can it help me, and how can it help other people? I connected a ton of people. That was my goal, was really helping people have vitality. And I got a reputation for kind of being a trusted resource for helping people choose which modalities would be best for them in their clinic or resort or whatever. So I was at a conference in November, and I ran across Dr. Steve Moore, who I had met a couple of years ago. And he shows me the Prysm device, and he explained to me kind of what it used to look like, the bigger, clunkier $4,000 device, $7,000 as a lease total in a year. And he shows me this. And then he tells me about all the workflows and automations he was into. So I got super excited and made some introductions there, ran across Josh Isaac, who had only met a few months prior to that, and other introductions. And it's really, really going viral. And remember, this thing didn't become available on a website till April 1st. So I was super excited to be able to help Josh integrate this into HEA and have the booth there and start working with Dr. Steve. Now, segue, I'm going to introduce Dr. Steve because he's a guy that's really unique as far as his level of skill sets. He got educated as a chiropractor, never really went into practice because he found this company 22 years ago. And he's an expert on all things that the products have, the technology, and he has that extra piece where he's really started to master the workflows and automations, realizing that practitioners, no matter how good a little opportunity or product is to monetize, if it's a whole nother job for you, you're not going to integrate into your practice. So we've got a triple crown winner here with a really, really great little viral product that no one else has, kind of like the Oura Ring for nutrition. We've got incredible products with 70 scientists on board, clinical trials on every single product, and then we have the workflows and automation. So Steve is somebody really easy for me to work with and follow, and I'm super excited about the introductions we've made and the opportunity that you all have. So I'll let Dr. Steve take it from here and kind of answer questions, get into what we do, how we do it, and how that might help your practice, help yourselves and your patients in a huge way.
Yeah, well, thanks, Stephen, for that introduction. Before I get started, I also want to give a shout out to Ryan and Cenas, who's on here. So I want to introduce you guys to him. He'll just share a little bit about himself real quick, because you'll be working with him on the back end as far as from a support standpoint. And Ryan is a surgical nurse, but he's also a health influencer. He's really great at communicating with people online. He's got a following of hundreds of thousands of people, and really has become an expert and a great student with this. And so I wanted to introduce you guys to him real quick, just because you'll be getting to know him over the next several weeks.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. And Steven and Isaac, I got to meet them at headquarters. I'm really looking forward to meeting this Disrupt crew and each and every one of you and helping you onboard this really simple system. I came from cancer research. I worked at MD Anderson, started my career, worked in surgery for 20 years, became a first assist, and then I even climbed the ladder and ran a private surgical hospital as a director. I know the business. I even dabbled in medical sales for a little bit, and I left to start my own thing. I went back to school for nutrition and minored in biochem and genetics before coming across this product through Dr. Steve over there. And I was blown away when I saw the level of research after calling up all these companies for a decade, trying to help people get off medications and describe. This was a no-brainer. This was the most comprehensive, most medically validated nutrition I've seen, even like genetically validated products that I'd not run across. Completely transparent. And if you guys have the opportunity to come out to the headquarters, you'll be blown away because you get to interact with the PhDs and listen to other clinical providers share their experience, not only in their personal and family lives, but all of their patients and the lives they've changed. A lot of things we can't market on a website, right? But we're here to help you. And I just wanted to say hello as a super supportive person to help you with workflows. Everyone's business is a little bit different, but we have a lot of experience integrating this system into a variety of workflows. So nice to meet you all, and I'll turn it back over to you, Dr. Steve. Look forward to meeting you all.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan. And Josh, thanks for again jumping on here with us. It was, I've had the pleasure of kind of getting to know Josh. We spent hours on phone calls, getting to kind of know what we're about, and we're really like-minded. Josh and Dr. Isaac Jones, we're all really on this mission to say what can we do to change the face of healthcare, but how do we make it profitable, right? And how do we improve the lives of healthcare providers too, so that they're not burning out, with the next thing, and so working smarter and shifting directions and kind of breaking out of things. And my background is I was originally going to be an orthopedic surgeon. I just always admired the doctors when I was younger. I think I wanted to be a dentist at one point. I wanted to be a pediatrician. I wanted to be an orthopedic surgeon. And I was studying pre-med. And during my studies at the University of Maryland, I had a girlfriend in college that just got migraines, and I just saw them just put her on pain medications, doing spinal taps. And I saw the physical and emotional dependency on that. And I saw the problems that it was creating. And she had went to a chiropractor, and he kind of took a different approach and said, I think that your migraines you're getting are a cervicogenic issue from when you fell off a horse from your equestrian days. And he really got to the root cause of things. And I just saw how a lot of traditional allopathic medicine just wanted to treat the symptoms, but never get to the root cause of the issue. And I went around going from doctor to doctor saying, no one's really figuring this thing out until someone started to look at what was the root cause of it. And I saw that he was working less hours than a typical allopathic medicine as well. It was a little bit more entrepreneurial, and he was happy and not burnt out. And so I flew out to California to go to chiropractic college. And during my time there, I just always really liked to talk to people about being proactive with their health. This was 25 years ago. So I just turned 50. And so this was in 1999, 2003. I was living in the Silicon Valley, just trying to get people to be proactive. And it was foreign to people to have those conversations. It was challenging. Can you guys relate? Like, it's, 20 years ago, how hard it was to get people to be proactive. And they're like, well, my doctor says I'm healthy. I'm like, well, the absence of disease doesn't mean that you're healthy, right? But that's how medicine defines things as. And I think everyone is catching up, to our way of thinking, because they don't want the traditional allopathic way of doing things. Not that it doesn't have a place, but I really believe wellness, longevity, everything that you guys are doing will become the new primary care, because this is what people want. And the other way is just not a sustainable way of doing it. And so while I was going through school, I was finding that not only was it difficult to create the awareness, but I also, hang on one second here. I've just got something buzzing here. Okay, there we go. So I also was looking at there were people that were being proactive. They were investing in nutritional supplements, right? And so how many of you are taking nutritional supplements now? Right? And I know the people that are not on video are raising your hands in the background. I just can't see your hand because if we look at it, most people take supplements. And so I thought, well, look at all this garbage people are buying. Can we help people make better decisions? And so I was opening up accounts with all these different supplement companies to try to be able to help people make better decisions. And it seemed like the more I was trying to learn about supplements, the more companies I visited, the more catalogs I opened up, the more confused I became. Can you guys relate to that? Okay, because every company says they're the best. Nobody says we're the fifth best supplement. And it's kind of like, how do I sort through the marketing and the storytelling and really get to science? And the only way to really know that is to measure things. Like we all know that we have to measure things to know if something's working. But with supplements, a lot of people just say, well, trust us. So I'm going to bring up some just so you can get some visuals here and we can go a little bit faster. But also a little bit about me. I've been in this space for over 20 years, focused on launching this technology and teaching physicians around the country and around the world about making prevention a priority and giving them tools and systems to be able to do it, to make it profitable. I've been in all kinds of practices from chiropractors to podiatry to orthopedic surgeons, pediatricians, OBGYNs, rheumatology, optometry. I mean, you name it. We've really worked with a diverse amount of doctors, and they all have their unique challenges, but they all also, there's a lot of similarities behind it. And we've been able to really understand almost the chaos that happens in a practice, right? There's this whirlwind of things that are always pulling at you, and you have these new initiatives that you want to implement, but then the whirlwind of the practice tends to like stifle those initiatives. Can you guys relate to that a little bit, right? And so the key is like when you have something that you want to implement, how do you not just get it to survive, but how do you get it to thrive? And you need technology, systems, coaching, mentorship to be able to do that. And so over the last 20 years, that's what we've been doing. Ryan and I had an opportunity to get interviewed in an upcoming documentary called Shield. That'll come out next month from the Biohack Yourself group. So guys, take a look out for that. And we got interviewed about this device. I've been married 17, almost 18 years. We've got 3 children. And when I saw this technology, which originally, I mean, you guys mentioned it, this was the one I was lugging around, right? I can hide behind it. And it was like almost a trombone case that we had to carry around, but it was fascinating that we could actually measure nutrition without blood and bring it to the people. Because what I saw is regardless of whether it's a Prysm or a bigger device, I think the question that a lot of people have is what supplement do we take or which ones do we recommend and how do we know if it's working? And I don't want to go on a website and listen to some company's story to try to figure it out. I want to measure. So this technology is not just brand new April 1st. This has a history of over 25 years in the making. The iPhone that we have today, was actually invented before they had the technology to put in a phone. There's some great documentaries about the advent of the iPhone. But, when you remember when cell phones were really big and clunky, they were great, but not a lot of people had them. As things get smaller and more convenient, more and more people can gain access to it. And that's exactly what's happened to this technology. It's gone from an S1, the first generation, to a second generation, to a third generation. And over close to 30 million people have been tested with these devices over the years. And then Prysm just came out April 1st. We started to bring some of these into the market in November. And we've already tested over 1 million people just with this little device. And so it is accelerating. There is huge amounts of data that we're understanding about global nutrition. And we really believe that when we can measure things, we can make an impact. And in healthcare, whether you agree with cholesterol testing or not, I mean, that's not the debate that we're trying to make here, but the ability to measure things drives solutions, right? And it drives opportunities for people to purchase things, whether they're good or not, to help with that. Bone density scans drove calcium sales or bone supplement sales. Blood glucose monitoring drove sales. You look at the Aura Ring, right? Everybody's now measuring things. But when these technologies first came out with this biophotonic scanner, the original Prysm, it was very foreign to be able to measure things in the body without a blood draw. But now people take it at face value. People want this data. The question is what do you do with it, and what are some actionable insights? And what I love about Prysm is it allows people to measure their nutrition, their cellular protection for the first time. These other devices, all kind of do something similar. They measure movement, cardiovascular health, sleep, but none of them are addressing the number one cause, which is our diet and our lifestyle. And Prysm allows people to do this very conveniently. And it's something that you can not only offer in your practice as a vital sign, which is what it should be, because we're finding most people are deficient, but it's something that patients can even buy for their whole family and use at home. I mean, I have a Whoop device, which if you guys using any fitness trackers, right? Those insights are valuable, but they don't teach me really what I need to do and improve it. I still have to kind of figure that out on my own. But if I wanted my family to, let's say, get this same device I'm using on my wrist for fitness, it would cost me about $2,000 a year because they'd all need their own device and their own subscriptions. With Prysm, an entire family can use it. And it's something that we want to put not only in every doctor's practice as a vital sign, but also put it in people's homes through healthcare providers and make a much bigger impact. And we'll talk about what that business looks like too. So this device is ultra portable, as you've seen. It's very affordable for people. And when we can give someone a score, it creates the awareness. Like, how many of you got the score and you're like, wow, what can I do to make it better? I mean, it's instantly people want to learn what they can do to improve it. And as a healthcare provider, that gives you leverage. When you can make something personal, emotional, and then you can track results and hold patients accountable and make it easy without having expensive blood tests, you can really make an impact where these conversations you have are not just a New Year's resolution that lasts for a few weeks, but this is actually something that you can get traction long term with your patients, and that creates a really nice business too. So we see scores here. Your smokers are in the red zone, so you'll see your chronically ill patients. They have a lot of oxidative stress. They're going to score poor. Your average American's a little bit better. You guys did pretty good at the show, right? Because you're being proactive with your health. You want to try and get into this purple zone or higher, over 750 ideally. And that's something that we can all strive for. And what I like about the PharmaNex product line, because I like the device, and then when you start to learn about the company that actually makes the supplements, it's actually even more impressive than just the device. So to be able to have the technology and targeted solutions where the science all meets in the middle instead of guessing and trying to piece things together, it really creates an ecosystem and a much easier way of implementing things with a lot more confidence. The technology has been very well validated. So it's been published in peer-reviewed journals. This is just some of the science stuff. I'm going to check the box here with you guys, and we can give you as much research as you care to read. But Stanford's published research with it. Yale did a 10-year study with the technology that they published. Texas Tech Medical Schools had it in their clinics. New York College of Optometry was using it for eye disease. Dr. Oz even had it on his show years ago about preventing cancer. They've won the most innovative company in the United States by the American Business Awards, along with Apple. Right? It's not often healthcare technologies win awards along with Apple and big tech companies. It's based on Nobel Prize-winning science. Their genetic research on longevity has been featured on a documentary on the Discovery Channel. They've been the first company to get the approval to sponsor the U.S. Olympic team. They're in the Physician's Desk reference, and they've been top rated by a lot of the big business organizations. So what I like about this is this has been vetted, validated, and we can make these recommendations with confidence. And this is backed by a big company. So let's talk a little bit about what the technology actually does and what it measures and why this is so critical for you to know and for your patients to know this number. In medicine, we tend to make a diagnosis based on so we can, it's almost like so we can, treat drugs, right? Or we can prescribe drugs or do surgery. But if we really look at where disease starts, it starts at the cell. And so your cells are very vulnerable to oxidation. We've all heard about free radical damage, oxidation, inflammation. This is the root cause of disease. And what happens is when those free radicals start damaging your cells, your phospholipid bilayer, right? Your cell membrane is made of fat, so it's very vulnerable to oxidation. And over time, when it becomes dysfunctional from that, that's what leads to disease. Even if you're, I mean, are any of you guys doing hormone therapies at all? HRTs at all? Some of you maybe. So you've got hormone receptors sticking out of here. So, if we want our hormones to work well, we don't just need the hormones, we need the receptors to be healthy, which means we need to reduce the damage or oxidative damage from the receptors. So what the body does is you've got your water-soluble antioxidants on the extracellular and intracellular membrane or matrix, but you've got your fat-soluble ones that are protecting the membrane. So I'm not going to get too into the science here, but I just want to build a foundation here so that we look at this and you can see how these carotenoid antioxidants, which is what we're measuring, these are the antioxidants that give all the fruits and vegetables their color, which is why we say eat a lot of colorful fruits and vegetables, is these carotenoids that are actually they're protecting every cell membrane in your body. They provide a shield to your cells, right? So when you don't have enough of these, you're susceptible to damage, and that's what leads to aging and disease long term. In fact, every disease is related to carotenoids and the amount of protection that you have in the cells. The more of these you have, the lower your incidence of disease, the healthier you're going to be, the better you're going to feel. The less of them you have, the more damage is occurring. So we've never really had a way to measure this technology until now. And this was originally funded by the National Institute of Health for disease risk assessment for eye disease. There's a whole story about how this was invented using lasers that were in the Hubble telescope to measure distant stars and galaxies. They were looking for a way to measure it in the eye, and that's really how this technology came to be. And then Pharmanex, which was started by these three top scientists, later acquired the technology, and they commercialized that device to get it to where it is today, because they said we're doing all this great science on nutritional supplements that other companies aren't doing. But it's really difficult for us to educate consumers and show them that it's actually making a difference in their body, because anyone can make a nice website, anyone can run ads to a vitamin line, anyone can make a nice booth, but what's behind the curtain of these companies? And so I decided to fly out to the headquarters to really see what this company was about, because I was really impressed by everything that I had seen. And living in the Silicon Valley, I mean, I saw a lot of my friends make millions and millions of dollars getting in front of technology launches. And I thought, like, as a healthcare entrepreneur, this is something that I think, could do a lot of good. And if there's a way to not only bring it into practice, but to potentially build another business with this and have another stream of income, I wanted to really check things out. And so I went out to their headquarters to take a look at it. Ryan, Steven had done the same thing, and Josh was at our headquarters just a few months ago too. So the founders are Joe Chang. He was one of the chief scientists at Wyeth. He actually discovered and developed rapamycin or Rapamune, which many of you may have heard of. Michael Chang was the former director of chemistry for Merck. For 15 years, he developed the first statin from red yeast rice. Actually, Pharmanex was the company that brought red yeast rice to market in a supplement. And then Carl Djerassi is known as the father of the birth control pill. So these are not just a couple people that got together to start a business in the supplement space. These were experts in drug discovery that left the pharmaceutical industry because they wanted to take the discoveries that they were making in natural therapies, but rather than allowing the drug companies to manipulate the molecules and make the pharmaceutical drugs, they wanted to raise the standard to bring the natural products to market. And that's actually why Pharmanex got started back in 1995. They had seen that all the supplement companies out there, none of them were doing the level of research they were used to seeing in pharma. So they decided to start their own company, and it became the largest nutritional startup ever in the 90s. They were in about 40,000 retail pharmacies, and then Monsanto tried to buy them for 130 million. A division of Pfizer tried to buy them for about the same, and they didn't want to sell to either one of those companies because they were concerned with what they might do to the future of the company. And then a skincare company called New Skin Enterprises ended up buying them and was able to fund and really grow the company significantly. The things that these scientists did is they developed a standardized process for supplement development. where they go through these 6 S's: selection, sourcing, specification, standardization, safety, and substantiation. Everything's got clinical studies and safety studies behind it. They don't borrow research. They actually do all their research and all their quality control. They now have a massive headquarters. It's the biggest one in the world in the nutraceutical space and longevity space. They employ about 70 full-time scientists. They own and built all of these buildings that you see here. Most supplement companies you'd never want to go visit them. They run them out of a little office space. They private label something. Some of them do, some decent research, but Pharmanex is really just at a whole different level than what you see in the supplement space. And when I toured these facilities, I was very confident in saying, okay, these guys are way smarter than me. They're doing the right things, and they're blowing all these other companies away. And the Prysm device just makes it simple, right? It makes it really simple. So let's jump into the products and the science. So we really believe that if people are going to invest in supplements, that they really deserve to know whether or not they're working. And so what Pharmanex has done now is they've been able to do clinical research on all these formulations, and they actually certify them, and they give a guarantee that your score will improve within 2 months or your money back. No other company in the world can do that. Most people are just guessing, and that makes it more challenging for physicians. I mean, even if you're doing blood tests and other panels, those tests you still don't know if the products you're working are actually going to move the needle. And so these are all certified products that make it really easy for you to monitor over time. The flagship product is called Life Pack. And rather than opening up 7 different bottles of stuff, they actually create a formulation or 7 formulations built into one. They do clinical research on it, and it's certified to improve your Prysm score. And so everyone really needs a strong foundation. And this is why we recommend that everybody takes Life Pack, because we're just not, the research shows we're just not getting optimal nutrition from our diet. Our cells are in our bodies are self-healing organisms, but we need to give our cells and our body what they need to function optimally. And if we're deficient in these, then we end up having problems with immune function, cellular repair mechanisms, DNA protect, like all these things start to break down when we don't have and give the cells in the body what they need. And so this helps the body, which is smarter than man is. This helps the body really heal itself by giving it the right nutrients and reducing oxidative stress. So in the clinic, what you do is you get a baseline score like we did. You start on the supplements, and then we recommend people improve their diet and their lifestyle. And then every so often you can track them and see how they're doing. In a clinical setting, you might track them every 2 months or every month, depending on how often they come visit you. But when these devices can go into their homes, people can track more frequently. I think that the more frequently you do something, the more likely you are to be compliant as well. And so Prysm really opens up a lot of doors for people to be able to focus on this more and do it more. Your number doesn't change very fast. It changes gradually over several weeks to several months. And most people will tend to plateau or reach a full saturation at around the 4 to 5 month mark. Okay, so this is a gradual change in tissue. And that's why measuring with this device is so much more reliable than blood. Blood is just telling you what you recently did because it's transporting nutrition. Your tissue is a much better representation of what your true value is over a period of time. Does that make sense to everybody? Yes? Okay. So in addition to foundation, we then have the ability to look at longevity and look at the aging process. And so this is all based on gene science. We know how your genes function when you're young. And when you get older, your genes essentially get dirty or they get out of balance, right? This is called epigenetics, where it's the function changes over time. This could be measured. And so the goal is now that we can measure what young looks like, what young DNA looks like, and what old DNA looks like, can we target the sources of aging with ingredients and create formulations that are thought to be good at longevity, but can we actually make the genes go back? Having access to this database was a big breakthrough where everybody before was kind of guessing in a way with genetics. But when we started partnering with this company called LifeGen, we were able to actually see the impact that these ingredients were having and these formulations were having. And it really allowed us to create formulations at a whole new level with extreme precision to be able to target and reset your genes and basically clean them up and have them naturally function like they did when you were younger. Really getting to the sources of aging using all natural ingredients that actually happen to, a lot of them come from the blue zones around the world that you wouldn't normally get in your diet. And so we now know that we can actually influence the way that our genes function and bring them back to a youthful state with nutritional formulas. And this technology is exclusive to Pharmanex. There's a book that was written on this called The Aging Myth, which is a New York Times bestseller. There's a revision. I think this just got released. I've got a copy here. I don't know if you can get it on Amazon yet or not, but this is actually written by the founder of the company talking about what we can do to help slow down the aging process using nutrition. In addition to some of these foundational products, some people will say, well, hey, do you guys have other products that I can recommend for patients that maybe want to deal with skin or collagen? And yes, they have the first collagen peptide supplement that has clinical research with published studies on the final product. So you don't have to guess, is this the right one to take? You actually know that it's working because they do all the clinical research through their labs. So as this technology has evolved, the way it works is it's using what's called hyperspectral absorption, and it's taking hundreds of thousands of measurements during that 15 seconds. And so it's based originally off of Raman spectroscopy, which is Nobel Prize winning science. But the Raman spectrometers were really expensive and very difficult to build. The cost to build one device, just the cost to build it, was over $10,000. These new devices, the big breakthrough that was made was they're using a different type of LED and spectroscopy, and then being able to use AI and machine learning. They've been able to create an algorithm that can map this new technology to the database that they've collected over the last 20 years. And now this becomes a lot faster and a lot more affordable to people. It's your AI is only as good as the database that you have. And so Pharmanex has the largest nutritional database in the world, and they can map these devices to it. There will be some additional biomarkers that you'll see getting launched here. As we're collecting more data, there are other things that we know we can measure. And as we collect more data and we can reliably measure those things, you'll see additional data points or biomarkers being pushed through firmware updates. So you're going to see a lot more. I mean, carotenoids in itself are a very significant biomarker, but you'll see some other things that are going to get pushed out as well. So again, we've over almost 30 million scans have been done. And this is very fast, very convenient for people. We also, if you look at the population data that we've acquired on this, on the left-hand side, this is an unhealthy population. These are people that don't take our supplements. They don't eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. They have a high BMI and they smoke. And you can see the majority of them are in the red zone in the bottom score. But as people improve their diet, lifestyle, and take the Pharmanex supplements, you can see how much of that bell curve has shifted over to the right. Right. And this, I think there are over 1 million people that were in this clinical, right? Big data that we've been able to see. You can also see records. So as you scan your patients, every patient will get a profile. You can actually see their history. It will graph their scans over time. There'll be a consumer app for your patients that's going to be launching later this quarter, and they'll be able to track and learn about their score from home. So in addition to what you teach them and what you recommend to them, they'll be able to continue to engage in the platform from home. And so that really supports you, where they now are empowered to continue on this journey and essentially gamify their nutrition and also learn about it. And that really supports the recommendations that you make, because I think we all get frustrated that our patients come in, they listen to us for a moment, and then they go back home and they have a challenge getting that new habit to stick. Prysm allows people to monitor. There's accountability. It allows people to learn and engage without putting that workload and full responsibility on you as the provider. So it makes it a lot easier. And what this is doing now is not just getting that nutritional score, but we'll have DNA testing integrated into it. microbiome testing, fitness trackers. Well, all that stuff will be coming online later this year. And so people will be able to better understand how their body is aging, what they can do about it, and be empowered to make intelligent decisions and learn about products that can do that. And as they do that, that all generates revenue for your practice, right? This is an assistant to you, your business. And when I first looked at this technology and I saw the ability to not just trade time for money, which is what a lot of healthcare providers do, like we're only making money when we're in front of the patient. If we want to have more freedom and flexibility of our time, we have to learn how to generate revenue that's not tied to that office visit, right? That's not tied to us having to be face to face with that patient. And this is a way that I saw that I could generate some additional income, because once people and patients go on these supplements, they typically go on a subscription. And so I make a recommendation one time and I get paid every single month. It's almost like a concierge practice in a way, but you're getting paid on whatever they're purchasing from Pharmanex, and it's all automated. You don't have to inventory product. You don't have to process orders. They track everything for you and they ship it directly to your patients or your customers' home. And to me, I said, well, that makes it a lot easier for me. I still have customers that I met 20 plus years ago in California that I met one time, put them on supplements, and for over 20 years they've been buying supplements on subscription for their entire family. They live in Europe and Sweden now, and I was getting paid from the company out of Sweden. I didn't know anybody there until I looked up their name and I saw, oh, this is my customer that I met when I lived in California. And I calculated out that moment that I spent with them to recommend supplements and had scanned them, I've been paid over $50,000 in commissions from what that one family has purchased over the last 20 years, right? And I haven't seen them in 20 years. So this is a different way to generate income and a way to be able to help more people. So what the tech is doing then is going to be bringing in purchasing trends, AI, machine learning, and data analytics to really help consumers better understand what are some supplements and what are some anti-aging products that they can purchase. And once that customer is put up in the system, you get paid on whatever they buy for the lifetime value of that customer, right? That is the neat thing about this. And so as they learn and discover other things, you get paid every time they make that purchase. There are opportunities for them to learn about products in different categories. And so it's not just improving their score and foundational nutrition. There are formulations from gut health to immune function, cardiovascular health, brain, skin, bone, eye health, joint health, healthy weight. And so as they want to improve, like they're okay, I'm interested in sleeping better. Well, there's a sleep formula that they can purchase. They don't have to take 3 different bottles of stuff like my neighbor was doing. There's a formula that's clinically studied to help people get a better quality sleep. And they just click to order through the app, and it gets delivered to their home. The system that we've also built called WellPath 360, I recognize over the years that you only have so much time to talk to your patients about things. And so sometimes adding more and more things to the practice, they just end up sitting in the practice, not getting utilized because you have a finite amount of time to talk to your patients. And so what we did is we built a system called WellPath 360 that automates all of your wellness education. I mean, imagine whether you have, a couple thousand emails or 10 or 20,000 emails. How would you like to communicate to your patients throughout the entire year without ever having to write an email, build a website, have your staff send out some newsletter that they hate doing, trying to figure out the software behind that? What if there is a way where it just does everything for you automatically? And so what we did is we created a advisory board of some of the top healthcare providers in different specialties. And we created a system that we have about 200 emails that go out on different health topics throughout the year. Those are all branded coming from you. We built a website that's all white labeled or branded from you. And so now you can keep your practice in front of your patients, brand yourself as someone that's in the wellness and longevity space without having to create all the content and do all the work yourself. And then as patients learn about different health topics, there are opportunities for them to discover products that can help them with that specific need that they have. And those opportunities get put in front of them throughout the year all automatically. And when they purchase products, the PharmaNex will ship it to them because the system's all fully integrated into their fulfillment system. So it's another system that we had just launched, and we're excited to bring to you. And there'll be there's actually a special promotion that we're offering through for HEA members as well. And so, how many of you guys have heard of Robert Kiyosaki or read his book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad? Many of you? Okay, awesome. So this will make sense to you then. There are 4 ways of really making money. You can be an employee where you're trading time for money. And then if people are tired of working for someone, they say, I'm going to go start my own business and become self-employed. That's what most doctors are. They're self-employed. But we're grinding it out every single day, because if we're not showing up, we're not making money as doctors. And so, we basically own the business, but we also created a job that is never ending for us, right? I mean, how many of you could say, oh, I want to go on vacation for the next 3 days and just go do it, right? Many doctors can't, because they have patients that are waiting. What if you wanted to do it next week or in 2 weeks? It's challenging to do because of the demands of the practice. And so when you're trading time for money, whether it's as an employee or being self-employed, it's all about you and what you do. But to really create the freedom and flexibility, you've got to have either people working for you in a big business. We're talking about hundreds of people working for you, or you have to have money working for you, right? That way, when you're off the treadmill of seeing patients, you have the income doesn't stop, right? And so this business, when I looked at this, I always thought like, okay, one day I'll invest a bunch of money and then I'll have my money working for me, and then I don't need to work anymore. But most people, it takes a lifetime to be able to get there. I mean, I know doctors that are still in their 70s and they're still delivering babies at night, right? And so in order to fix this issue, this business provides another mechanism, another stream of income that allows you to decouple your time from your income. And whether you just bring it into your practice as another turnkey revenue stream that can enhance your practice and bring in revenue that doesn't make a lot of extra work or investment for you, or whether you want to work with us and help us expand this through relationships that you might have, there's a very exciting profit sharing model as well. If that's something you're interested in, we're happy to chat with you about it, because we really believe that if we're going to make the changes necessary in healthcare, we're not going to do it through, like, the government's not going to do it. I mean, there's initiatives now, but the pharmaceutical and the healthcare industry is 1 out of every $7 is getting spent in our economy on sickness. Right? If we were to get everybody healthy, it would collapse our economy. So there is a fundamental conflict of interest in getting people healthy because of how much money is being spent and being made on sickness. The hospitals are not going to fix the issue because healthy people don't go to hospitals. The pharmaceutical industry is not motivated to fix the issue, and neither are the insurance companies, because they're all in bed with one another. So for us to really make the changes that are necessary, we've realized that it's got to be a grassroots movement. And these are some of the things that I love about what everyone's doing at Disrupt, is that everyone's very passionate about teaching one another and working together to drive these initiatives, but also create better lifestyles for physicians too. How many of you, I'm going to change topics here really quickly, but how many of you have a smart home, a device? How many of you have a Google Home in your house to like turn on the lights and do those things? Or how many of you have a Google Home? How many of you have an Amazon Alexa? Right? I think a lot of us have these devices in our home, and they all kind of do the same thing. But one of the things, the company that does the best or has the best business model is Amazon by far. Not that their device is much better than the other ones, but it's connected to an Amazon store. And so their business model is they put these devices in your home, and they become intelligent, convenient ways to shop for things that magically show up at your door through the Amazon store. What we're doing here with Prysm is we are allowing you not just to have it in your practice, but as your patients have it in their homes, they become intelligent beauty and wellness shopping devices where people can learn about products to help them meet their health goals based on their data. Nobody else in the world has that ecosystem with the science, the technology, the products, and the fulfillment in this space. And as you deploy these devices and acquire customers, whether it's in your practice or in their homes, that this generates recurring revenue for you. So imagine if you were able to tell somebody about Amazon, and Amazon paid you a percentage of whatever that household bought from the Amazon store. And I mean, that'd be a pretty amazing business to participate, but we never had an opportunity to do that. We're able to do that in the healthcare and the longevity space, whether you're doing it just in your clinic or doing it in your home. So we're going to open up for some questions, but I wanted to put this up here. So I know many of you have already ordered your device. We had a lot of you guys that had got started with us. We're going to be following up with you, get you connected to a new community that we just built so you can learn about the device, learn more about the products, learn how to integrate it, and then we will provide coaching and support to help you do that. For those of you that have not ordered the device yet, you can scan this QR code, and the investment for the device, and you get the 5 most popular products to try out, because everything we do is really based on our belief system. If we want to be successful, we need to utilize the technology. We need to utilize the products, learn about them, believe in them, see what they're doing for us. And so we put together this package so you can have that experience. And whether you're ready to get it integrated into your practice now or in the near future, we'd recommend getting started with this to start, taking the next step. So feel free to scan that. This used to be a $4,000 investment plus a lease. Now it's $750. It's less than an iPhone to bring this into your clinic. And then for those of you that are interested in WellPath, you can scan this QR code. I'm going to give you the coupon code for HEA. So it is HEA 40. If you do a monthly plan, you will save 40% off the first 6 months. You'll also save 40% off your setup for the program. And that would be HEA 40. Just use that coupon code and you'll get 40% off the first 6 months. If you want to do an annual plan, you would use the code HEA 40 and then put an A at the end of it for annual. And that would save you 40% off for the first year. Plus, you'll get 2 months for free on that program. And this is the system that will automate all your wellness education, and it will drive product sales as well as lifting up your practice, right? Because the more you can stay in front of your patients, the more you can keep your brand in front of them, the more connected they're going to be to your practice, and that's going to give you a lift in patient visits and other services that you may also provide to them. So what we'll do here is we'll open it up to any questions for anybody, but it's good to be here. I'll stay on as long as you guys want. Feel free to come off mute if you have any questions.
Hey, Dr. Steve.
Hi, Elizabeth. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. I was the wife of the man that wore the cremation T-shirt in Florida. Yeah.
I remember you guys.
I wasn't able to get on at the beginning of the program, but can you tell me a little bit more about the pricing and program for the annual plan with the setup?
Yes, here I'm going to bring this back up here for you. So let me bring this here. So it depends on your practice. So it depends on the size of your practice and so forth. But if you scan this, and then there's an application on there, and it will give you the price, and that will be customized for your practice.
Okay, thanks so much.
The program starts at, it's less than $500 a month is the starting point for it, and then you would get 40% off of that with HEA. And then this becomes profitable as well because it's also driving product sales for you automatically. Did I answer your question, Elizabeth?
Yes, thanks so much.
All right, awesome. Turn your marketing rather than an expense, make it a profit center.
Okay.
That's what this does.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead, Amy.
750, there was a lot of numbers flying around at the Disrupt Clinical, and I don't remember exactly, but was that the same price you were offering at the conference?
It is.
Okay,
Yep.
cool.
I wanted to ask, what does it look like if somebody's in a virtual space versus like a brick and mortar? Like how would somebody use this, and would it be more under like an affiliate referral for your clients, or what does that look like?
Yeah, there are different ways of doing this. So I never went into practice. I started doing this as doing events in my community. I just like talking to people about nutrition. So while I was studying for boards, I went to my gym. I set up events in my community at different places. Got a lot of referrals, and the company was just shipping the product to everybody and generating revenue. But yeah, there's an affiliate model as well. The company can give you an e-commerce website that you can brand and create you can do it anywhere in the US or international. It's a global website. Does all the e-commerce stuff for you that you can curate. You have an app that you can download that you can create affiliate links or bundle kits that you want to. You can create your own protocols and promote them. So there's a lot of flexibility on how you can do it. There's also opportunities to set up health screening events in your community, or you can completely do everything virtually if you want to. So, what I would recommend doing is if you haven't ordered the kit, just get the kit, start using it, and then schedule a call with our team, and then we can help you put together a business plan based on how you would see yourself moving it forward. We can give you some ideas.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Yeah, we provide a lot of training and coaching to help you grow the business. Ultimately, 3 out of 4 people take supplements. How many people do you think have a lot of confidence that what they're taking is working? Like,
They don't. Yeah, I
no,
mean, I'm in a similar, I mean, I'm a dietitian by trade, so I know a lot about supplements, but again, it's a guessing game with a lot of it.
yeah. So now it no longer needs to be a guessing game, and we've got a group of dietitians that are affiliates with us, and so we can connect you with them as well. They actually put together a CE course for dietitians on this, and they included this whole program in that CE course.
Yep.
So,
Okay, cool.
yeah.
It's amazing once you learn about what some of these products can do. It's just making the proper recommendation based on that consultation, right? I had a whole thriving online business, and that was my primary thing, was helping people get off of medications and restore the metabolic health through some of these products. So same. You're just making great product recommendations, but you now have the opportunity to also give them a device to not only measure themselves, but the rest of their family and even friends.
Yeah, the business model is pretty simple. Every customer that you enroll has login credentials, just like Amazon does. Like they track everything you buy through login credentials. So any customer that you acquire and connect to the company, they're going to pay you on the lifetime value whatever that customer buys. So
And
there are lots of different ways of getting to customers. Healthcare providers are one way of doing it, but you can get creative and diversify, and we're happy to share some different strategies with you. Emmy, okay?
Okay, and from a customer standpoint, since if like, for example, if you're doing a health fair, if I would have the device, that makes sense. But do a lot of your customers also buy it so they can track it over time? Or do you feel like you kind of get, feedback on the cost or price point being more expensive than what they're used to for a supplement starter
Yeah.
kit, even though.
Yeah, so the device just became available to consumers on April 1st. So our goal is this will be something that consumers are putting in their homes. Our goal is to sell 10 million of these to put them in healthy homes around the world. So healthcare providers can help with that through their patients, but you've got access to be able to do it as well. And so the devices are $300 to $400 as a one-time purchase, and an entire family could use it. So it's actually a very affordable way to track your nutrition at home. And then the supplements start as low as $1 a day up to $3, $5, $10 a day, depending on what level people want to take it to.
And if somebody has sensitivities to anything in the product, I'm assuming that's all online. Like personally, I know vitamin C is super important for antioxidant support, but I can't have that or anything with like the citric acids, malic acids, which is in a lot of supplements, is that found in your products or?
In some of them it is, some of them it's not. So they have product sheets on everything. We've got product support, tech support. So there's a tremendous amount of support where you can get all that information. When the company does about $1.5 billion a year in sales, they've got 70 full-time scientists. So you've got tremendous infrastructure and resources. We also have a community of healthcare providers with all different specialties and so forth that are all collaborating and working together. So you've got access to a whole family of people that are passionate about driving nutrition and prevention around the United States and around the world. So you get access to a lot of people. You're not by yourself.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
Miss
All right.
Knight, you got your hand up there?
I think Millicent was next, and then we'll go to Amy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry about that. I clicked on the QR code to extend your care beyond the clinic. And when I went to choose your health goals, every time I click on view topic, I get a error message that says, it looks like you wandered off the page.
Oh, did you click on the demo?
Yes.
Yeah, that demo page is really just showing you a couple of the pages, so it's limited.
Oh,
It's not a
okay.
full
All right.
functioning
Just wanted
site. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
You'll get some emails and kind of get a flavor for what are some of the messaging, some of the messages that go out to your patients.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's not the demo is not a full functioning system. So it's just giving you a little bit of a taste of it. Melissa, are you an optometrist? Does that say OD there?
Yeah, I'm an optometrist
Oh, okay. Where's your practice?
in Plano, Texas.
All right. This was originally developed for macular degeneration risk assessment to measure macular pigment. If you've ever seen like Dr. Caldwell, do you know who he is? Do you know
Yeah, I
who he
know him
is?
well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a good friend of mine. So he's a
Awesome.
huge advocate of this. Yeah.
Yes. I actually heard him lecture on it once.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, he's a very good lecturer.
Mhm.
Is that who you heard speak? Was him?
I heard about it from someone else, but I also heard about it from him during a continuing education course. He did a wonderful job, by the way.
Yeah. Awesome. Amy, you have a question.
Yeah, and I may have missed this. I'm sorry. I'm not sure. Did you say New Skin? So is this a New Skin company?
Nu Skin acquired Pharmanex back in 1998. And then when they acquired the technology, we developed a healthcare program for it.
Okay, so are all the New Skin products available when you do this part of it?
They are.
Okay,
If you want to purchase or market any skincare, you have access to the full product line.
gotcha. And then the other question was when you included all the vitamins and supplements, the bottles, I think that went to 7 or 8 or something like that. Is that a package that everybody gets? No, not that one. It was they were numbered like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That
Oh,
page.
Life Pack. You're looking at Life
Oh
Pack.
yeah. So that was basically just showing you here. I'll go back to what you're referring to. So this one here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is really demonstrating that Life Pack is a formula that has 7 formulas built into one. So you don't have to have 7 different bottles. It's all in one pack.
Oh, I
So
see. So you're getting like a little cellophane package of 7 different pills.
it's four different pills, which is 7 formulas. Yep. Exactly.
Okay, I see. And then so those are I'm not sure the right word to use. So those are just a one size fits all package.
So Life Pack is designed to be your foundational nutrition. So it's designed to
Foundational.
optimize nutrients that you should be getting in a healthy diet that people aren't.
I
And then
see.
and then you can then add targeted solutions to that. So it's a very easy product line to work with, where the first thing we want to do is give you key nutrients that we should be getting in a healthy diet that we're not, right? And so there's 3 different versions of Life Pack that people can take to address that foundational nutrition. And then we can then target stress, target immune function, target collagen, target weight management, target stress or sleep. And then those are additional formulas that you can add to it to help patients with specific needs that they might have.
Okay. And then what would a Life Pack monthly box I mean, it looks kind of like a box that you would get. Does how much is like a monthly subscription for that?
So it depends on what price point you sell it for, but most physicians will sell it to their patients for $85 a month on subscription.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
There's another version of Life Pack that's about a more basic one that's about $35 a month. So it's something everybody can afford. And
Sure.
then the top tier one is called Life Pack Nano. That's about $150 a month. So you've got different products at different price points for people.
Nice. Okay. And then are all those products in that 150 price range, are they all pills or is any of them powders that you can drop in a
Life
drink?
Life Pack are pills. So the new version of Life Pack that just came out yesterday is a tablet form.
Okay.
Um, the basic one is a tablet form, and then the Life Pack Nano is a capsule.
Okay. All
So
right. Thank you.
the powders just are challenge. Like if you do mix it in with water, the powders, if you put minerals in there and some of the ingredients, they taste really bad. So a lot of companies that do the mix-ins, they usually have to put, some different flavoring agents and things like that in there to try to make it tolerable, or they put just low levels of those ingredients in there. Like
Okay.
some of these ingredients are like super bitter and they're really difficult to mix in and drink.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. What other questions do we have? Anything else?
Dr. Moore, so the new version that you just talked about for the Life Pack, because I ordered mine and I got mine in Saturday, the 750 program.
Okay.
And it's got the 4 tablets in it. You said the new version will be reduced down to 1 tablet. Is that
No,
correct?
the one that you have is you're getting, and I still take the current version. It's 4 capsules that are in those sachets, so you get 1 box
Yeah.
of that in the starter kit. We'll continue to sell that product for the rest of for the majority of the rest of the year, and then we're overlapping the other formula, which will be they're small tablets. There are 10 of them, like they're almost like baby aspirin type of tablets. So there are 10 of them. It'll be a single dose formula. But if people want to split and take it twice a day and take a half a pack a day, they can do that. What we found in our research was Life Pack is designed to take twice a day, so it's 1 pack twice a day. But we found a lot of people don't have good habits in taking it twice a day, and so if you're not taking it twice a day, you're only getting a half a dose. And so with the new packaging, what we did is we put in 1 sachet, we put a full day's worth, so that if people are only taking it once a day, they're at least getting a full day's dose of those nutrients. But if
Gotcha.
people want to improve the bioavailability even further, they can open it up and take half of that pack in the morning and the other half at night if they're going to be more disciplined.
Okay, okay. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Can I ask a business related question or should I wait for a phone call for that?
No, you can ask whatever you want. I love business questions too.
Okay, so I have a brick and mortar in South Carolina. It's women's health. I'm a pelvic floor PT and wellness. So we have the hyperbaric red light and those other modalities in there as well. And we're 4 years in. Eventually, one day I would probably look to sell my brick and mortar and would think to keep something like this that would be easy. And so or easier to work through. And so I'm wondering, like at this point, I have another LLC that I created. I just haven't used it yet. But would I put, this type of a business underneath a new business name? Because it wouldn't be part of what I would sell, in the future.
Yeah, I mean, why would you sell something that's has recurring revenue to it, right? So you can use your
Right.
business to grow the recurring revenue. And then the business with us, you have a 1099 with us. It's a willable, sellable asset. So you can put it in a tax ID number, you can change it at any time. And so it's you just submit a form if you ever want to change it. So yeah, you've got flexibility to set it up any way you want to. A lot of doctors do that when they sell their practice. They have this as a separate business and they keep that revenue coming in.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Ram, you have a question.
Yeah, so my question is about the consumer, direct to consumer. So if like from your website, if someone is buying the device and supplements, why should they like come to the provider? So how are they getting some cheaper or any coupon or any discount
Yeah.
if we are recommending them?
Yeah, so if anybody goes to our website to purchase, they're gonna pay full retail,
Mhm.
and the company then refers that to a affiliate as a lead. They don't enroll any customers directly, so they're not there to compete with any of their distributors. So
Okay.
anyone that comes in through the website buys full retail, they refer it out as a lead, and then
Okay.
it becomes a customer of one of the affiliates or distributors in the network. You can offer the products at a discount, and so they can get better pricing from you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Mhm. Yep, you're welcome. Elizabeth, you have another question.
No, I'm sorry. I think I just was unmuted. I apologize.
All right. Maybe if you got anybody want to share what they like best about knowing their score?
I beat my husband. Yay.
Well, based on the shirt he was wearing, I knew you were going to beat him.
I think it's fun. Like it's kind of fun to, we have that little competitive drive. And so, I think he's motivated too to do better and see how he can improve his score. And, I think it's good. It's a good competition to have.
Yeah. We've got a really great community where you can learn a lot about how to market it, how to expand it. I mean, I originally just thought I was just going to go to my gym and go do a little side hustle in my community while I was in school. And then as I started to learn what other people were doing, I'm like, wait a minute, I have some chiropractors that would want to use it. And then wait a minute, there's some people doing some things online, and we just all started sharing and learning ideas on how to grow and expand the business. And what I do today is much different than what I had originally thought I was doing. It's allowed me to work from home, spend time with my family, travel a lot. I mean, it's being able to have other ways of making money outside of just your traditional practice and burning out doing that is so important. And a big part of what we do and what I've learned with this company and with this organization is at first I said I just need to make some money and I want to do something to help people improve their health. But I've learned about personal growth and development and mindset and how to be a better person in my community and how to be a better leader, how to do public speaking, how to grow a business, how to be an entrepreneur. There's so much opportunity with this right now, and so much opportunity for all of you to grow. And so we provide a lot of training and support and coaching in the organization for you to grow as a person, to grow as an entrepreneur, to grow as a provider, to grow as someone in your community, which is all part of our mission, right? Is how do we help people not just be successful in one area of their life, but empower them to be successful in other areas of their life as well. Because I think we all see people that are really successful in their careers, but they fail in their relationships with their children, with their spouse, with their community. Or we see people that are really successful in their career and they fail in their personal health and other things, right? And so one of the things when I came into this organization and what I really admired about it was I saw leaders that were really successful in all areas of their life, right? They're successful. I think spirituality is a big part of it. I've become much more spiritual since I've been involved with this because I've just learned so much about how um when you have that guiding you, right? That you can build something that's going to last when you're spiritually connected with your business and your mission. Um, I think that improving our health and learning about how we can improve our health naturally, how we can become better and more successful with our families, with goal setting, with all these things, right? I mean, I was shocked at when I graduated as a doctor, like how little I learned about business and goal setting and mindset and how to be successful. Like we learned all the clinical stuff, but we didn't learn how to be successful. And those skills and being around people that are willing to share knowledge on how to be successful is really uplifting, and it's really a great journey. It's a big part of what we do. And so if you guys are interested in coming out to our next healthcare forum, the one that Josh attended, that's going to be not this weekend, but next weekend. You would fly out on a Thursday, spend 2 nights with us. You'd be home Saturday. We don't even charge for the event. The only fee is catering for $75 to cover a couple meals. But other than that, there's no charge to come to that. You get to tour the labs, the facilities. You have PhDs. You hear business training, how to expand the business, how to take it wherever you want to. You get to connect with a lot of really great people there. I mean, it's really an incredible experience. And so if you're interested in coming, let Steven know. You guys should have all received a text message from them. If you want to set up a call to have some questions or learn more, reach out to Steven. I mean, we're here to support you and coach you and mentor you. We don't charge for that. It's just part of what you get of being part of this community. If you want to learn about that event, you can go to hcaforum.com, HCA. So my business is Get Healthy USA. I have a partner where we've expanded, and that's called Healthcare Alliance. So it's very similar to Health Experts Alliance. So we have Healthcare Alliance, and we do that event on a quarterly basis. So the next one's going to be next weekend in Utah. So I'll be there. Steven will be there. Ryan will be there. We'll look for if anybody wants to come. I know it's short notice, but I'm just extending an invitation. It'll be a very worthwhile event if you are interested in coming. Okay, any other questions or comments? All right, I'm going to put up the QR code here for you again. So if some of you were just kind of thinking about it but weren't sure yet, that's the QR code. You could just take a picture of that or scan that. You can order your starter kit. Even if you're not ready to implement it into your practice, you can just start using the product, start playing with the device, get familiar with it, and then set up some times with us, and we're happy to, help you get the information you need to take the next steps. And then here's the QR code for WellPath 360 to help you automate all your messaging, all done for you with your brand. So I guess we'll close out. But thanks for spending some time with us tonight, everybody. And Steven, thanks for hosting this, and Ryan, thanks for everything you're doing as well.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dr. Steve. Thanks, everybody, for jumping on. And we did record this, so we'll try to get this out to everybody, okay?
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Bye,
Bye, everybody.
everyone.
Thank you.